Hello, this is Russell with East Valley Property Management, and today's topic, what we wanted to discuss is evicting a tenant and some of the things you want to look for in identifying maybe a problem tenant and what you do about that. And in a previous post, what we discussed was a proper screening. You want the right tenant from the get-go, but people's lives do change. People change jobs, lose jobs, they get divorces. Good tenants can turn bad, and it is, so it does happen. But what you really want to look for is someone that, maybe from the very get-go they pay 1 day late, not a big deal. And the next month it's 2 days late, 3, 4, 5, and then every month you're seeing this pattern where they pay later and later. Usually, what that's telling me is that they can't afford the home. The income they're bringing in just isn't making ends meet, so they can meet that rent. And so, when you see that pattern where they're just delayed and now you're to the 15th, the 20th before they can pay, that's usually a good indication that the tenant is going to eventually have to be evicted. And what you would normally do is start in the state of Arizona would start with a 5-day notice to say, hey, pay up or get out. If they don't pay up, then we would refer that to an attorney. Sometimes we're getting asked if we can represent landlords in court and file all the paperwork. As a licensed real estate broker, we do not offer those services, so we outsource that to an attorney who is licensed, obviously, to represent a landlord in court and get a judgment against a tenant. But usually, if at that point, most people will just leave and turn in the keys. If they don't, the court typically gives you 5 days after that judgment to exercise a writ of restitution, which is then the legal right to physically remove a tenant from the property. In this area, you would then hire a constable who then will physically go into the property, physically remove the tenant if they're uncooperative. And most people are cooperative, probably embarrassed and don't want to be there. Every once in a while you have someone that just wants to protest and feel like they have a right to stay in the home, and that's where the constable does that work for you. So as a landlord, you should never be barging into a property, physically removing anyone yourself. That should be done using legal recourses. Another way that evictions can happen is if a tenant's breaching the lease, they're damaging the property, they're interrupting neighbors, or they bring on pets, or any number of things of violating the lease. In Arizona, you would typically rectify that breach of the lease through a 10-day notice. Once you get that 10-day notice and then you follow up and they didn't fix the problem, that's when you can then take it to court. We would refer that to an attorney. Hey, we've got a problem. We gave a 10-day notice. They still didn't fix the problem. And we kind of follow that same pattern as in with a non-payment of rent, where we get a court date. If they still don't fix the problem, they still don't get out of the property, then we can physically remove them. Now, at that point, most people leave, but there are some people that leave their stuff behind. They have valuables left. Now, in Arizona, there are some very specific things that you need to do before you can remove a tenant's personal belongings. You can't just take it and have a garage sale. You can't just throw it away if they have valuables. But it's really, this could happen any number of ways, and so we invite you to, if you find yourself in this situation, to give us a call, and we can talk about your situation with you and offer the best advice in your specific scenario that we can. And so we invite you to give us a call. Again, this is Russell with East Valley Property Management.